Hello, so this video is on what makes tobacco addictive. In this educational session, we will learn about what makes tobacco products, like cigarettes, addictive. Participants will hear about nicotine and discuss how nicotine withdrawals affects us, and how it can make it difficult to quit using tobacco. We will also review how the symptoms of withdrawal are similar to those experienced when we feel stressed. So what is an addiction? Anyone can develop an addiction, and people can be addicted to a wide range of things. For example, the internet, video games, gambling, food, drugs, and alcohol. Addictions can cause you to have a very serious, strong desire to continue a certain behavior, such as smoking or gambling, even when it is causing serious problems. When you are addicted to a substance, such as drugs, alcohol, or tobacco, you will experience feelings and changes to your body when the substance has not been in your system for some time. These feelings and changes are withdrawal symptoms. Most often, a person with an addiction will quickly try to get more of the substance in their system to relieve the withdrawal symptoms. So do you think that you have an addiction to tobacco products? I don't anymore. I'd say at one time I did. Probably when I first started smoking. So, what causes an addiction to tobacco products? The answer is simply and profound. The drug nicotine. Nicotine occurs naturally in tobacco plants. The 1988 Surgeon General's report on nicotine addiction illustrated that the characteristics that determine tobacco and nicotine addiction is very similar to those that determine addiction to other drugs such as heroin and cocaine. Within a short amount of time of use, a person becomes both physically as well as psychologically dependent on nicotine. Smokers must both parts of the dependence to quit and be successful. Did you know, in most cases, people become addicted to the nicotine chemical in tobacco products? When you use a tobacco product, the nicotine contained in the product attaches to the pleasure centers of the brain. As you use more and more of the tobacco product, the nicotine will start causing some changes in the way your brain works. After some time, your body gets used to having nicotine in your system, and you will start to want or crave nicotine on a regular basis. When you do not have tobacco in your system, your brain reacts by causing unpleasant feelings called withdrawal symptoms. When you inhale tobacco smoke from a cigarette, nicotine as well as other harmful components of smoke are brought into your lungs. Nicotine is quickly absorbed into the bloodstream, where it is delivered throughout your body, including your heart and blood vessels, as well as your hormones, your brain, etc. If you're pregnant, the nicotine affects you and your baby. Nicotine damages developing nerve cells. Babies exposed to nicotine during pregnancy are more likely to have learning disabilities. If you smoke tobacco while you're pregnant, your baby is more likely to have an ear infection, colds, or lung problems. Smoking nearly doubles a woman's risk of having a low birth weight baby and increases the risk of preterm delivery and stillbirths. So discussion questions. Do you use more of the tobacco product now than when you first started using it? Well, no, since I quit. And do you have cravings to use the tobacco product? So I'll give a few minutes to think about this. Or a few, extra seconds.
Hey, Miss Earl. How did I end up in Catalina's village being held at gunpoint by a cross-eyed Latino dude? Well, it all started with Brandon. After having a crush on Catalina for over a year, he finally decided to tell her how he...
Okay, so on to the next slide. how smoking hooks you. Nicotine is a stimulant and gives you pleasant feelings so that you want to keep using it. People smoke more as their nervous system adapts to nicotine. This then increases the amount of nicotine in the smoker's blood. You develop a tolerance in a short amount of time. This means that it takes more nicotine to get the same effect that you use to get from smaller amounts. This leads to an increase in smoking over time. The smoker reaches a certain nicotine level and then keeps smoking to maintain this level of nicotine, and they feel as if they need nicotine in order to function normally. Nicotine withdrawal can lead you back to smoking. When smokers try to cut back or quit, the reduction in nicotine leads to withdrawal symptoms, both physical and psychological. Physically, you react to the reduction or elimination of nicotine from your body. Psychologically, you deal with giving up an addiction, which requires a major behavior change. You must address other factors for a quit attempt to be successful. The half-life of nicotine in smoked cigarettes is very short. Withdrawal symptoms usually start within a few hours of the last cigarette. They can last from a few days up to several weeks, but tend to lessen every day that you stay quit. If you quit cold turkey, or by tapering down the difficult withdrawal symptoms, could cause you to start smoking cigarettes again to increase blood levels of nicotine back where there are no withdrawal symptoms. Using FDA-approved medications for smoking cessations may help to reduce or eliminate withdrawal symptoms. So discussion questions. Have you used tobacco to cope with stress or a bad mood? Yeah, I did that a lot. Have you noticed that you have withdrawal symptoms when you do not use tobacco products? I didn't really notice a lot for myself. And do your withdrawal symptoms disappear after using the product? Are some discussion questions to really think about for yourself. Tobacco withdrawal and stress. It is important to recognize that symptoms associated with withdrawal from tobacco products are similar to symptoms of stress. These include anxiety, difficulty concentrating, restlessness, insomnia, depressed mood, irritability, decreased heart rate, weight gain, or increased appetite. It can be easy to assume that these symptoms are from stress, but they may actually be from tobacco withdrawal. Have you ever heard someone say that smoking tobacco helps them relax? What may actually be happening is that when you smoke, they avoid withdrawal symptoms and mistake it for stress. Try to do some healthy activities that you enjoy that can be calming or distracting and can help you relax with a relaxation exercise. So we end this video with a personal narrative from Matt. I smoked cigarettes for over 30 years, and for the most part I enjoyed them, but downside, I wanted to quit. I started to play a game in my head where I told myself that every pack that I bought was my last. After punishing myself with the side effects from smoking cigarettes for 30 years, I was determined to quit. After 6 tries, I quit going cold turkey and have virtually no desire to pick up cigarettes again. I have now been tobacco-free for years. I exercise at Bali Total Fitness 3 days a week, as well as walking at least a mile a day. Exercise is one of the keys to success. You need to be able to breathe in order to exercise. The less you smoke and the more you exercise, the healthier and stronger you will feel. I am feeling better now than I did 20 years ago because I have quit smoking and am exercising. Physical activity helps my mind. Working with my medication, it helps me feel balanced and whole. Eating healthy food is part of this too. I eat good food, but I am not on a diet. It all comes together. When I exercise and eat well, I have less hospitalizations and am better able to deal with the symptoms of illness.